How is it going, everybody? Mike back with another 5-minute gaming show for you, 5 days a week at 5 p.m. This one I am doing for my dad. My dad did not play as many video games as me in life, but there was one game that he played a lot of. And this is back, we're going to have to go way back to the late 70s. Back in the 70s, my dad taught computer programming at Seal High School, and he was the first math teacher to convince the school to purchase about 4 Apple II computers. And when we got those computers, I, of course, wanted to play games, like many of the kids. And my dad wasn't really into the games, but there was one game he really got into along with his assistant math teacher. And that was a game called Paratrooper. Now, Paratrooper has a weird history. It also is known as Sabotage, and I'll explain that in a second. But Paratrooper is what my dad called it, and that's how we played it. Just for a little bit of history, this is the Apple II computer, and I will show you here. This is a tape drive, and that's the way we used to load games way back in the day, which was insanely difficult and took forever. That's a story for another show, but just wanted to point that out. And also just the joysticks, paddle controls, as they called it. Definitely another time. Also, there we go. That is a picture of Sabotage, or Paratrooper, by Mark Allen, based on the case it came in. So just another little example of the history. But Sabotage is a really interesting game, and I will read the rules. The object of Sabotage is to score as many points as possible before the enemy destroys your gun. Placement. Your gun may be destroyed either by a hit from an enemy bomb or by sabotage. When enough paratroopers have reached the ground, the gun may be controlled with a paddle or the keyboard. If you are using the keyboard, pressing D will move the gun counterclockwise and F will move it clockwise. I'm going to use a mouse. But here's the cool part of this game is it's all about getting points, but every time you fire a bullet, it costs you a point. And so my dad and his co-math teacher, I think with their math background, they really liked the idea of the risk reward, but it was about getting as many points as you could. Steerable shells is an option in the game, and it definitely helps, and I'm going to play with that. So let's play a little Sabotage. And the helicopters at the top are going to drop the little paratroopers, and you can either kill them with your bullet hits, and I totally missed, or you can hit them with shrapnel from the helicopters. But if you notice below my gun, the points, every time I fire, I lose a point, and when I hit paratroopers or choppers, I gain points. More points definitely for choppers. So you definitely want to try to focus on the choppers like I'm doing there. What was really fun, if you could hit the paratroopers just right in the chute, they would, instead of just disintegrate, they would fall to their death. And I'll kind of see if I can hit that. There he goes. See the little blood splatters on the ground? That was violence back in the late 70s in video games, folks. So if I could play good enough, I could get to some jet levels, and I'm going to purposefully stop shooting because we have a little bit more to share with you. But the game would continue on until enough paratroopers would reach either your gun or the bottom. And when you get enough, sometimes I could hear myself talking and thinking at the same time. When you get enough, they do this. They walk their way over to your gun. I am helpless to do a thing. I can shake in fear, and that's it. I am done. Game over. My dad played this game a lot, and I think because he was so into it, I got into it. So it was fun to play something my dad was playing. Now, as I researched the history of Paratrooper, I also found that there were many other versions of this game made. Let me just hit my button here and get out of this. And real quickly, I'm going to show you Night Raid from 1992. Another version of Paratrooper. I actually never knew until I did some searching that they made other versions. even special thanks to John Carmack on there. John Carmack, famous for Doom and Quake. Name I cheated. So, real quick, real fast game of Night Raid just to show you the differences. Definitely a graphical upgrade. I do not have an option for steerable shells, so I am stuck with just straight shells. But sound improvements for sure. Oh, I got the ship. And I'm gonna let the guys. One fell to his death. And we have an intermission, which I kind of laugh at because this is not really an intermission. This is the end of the game for me. Enough guys have landed. So they're slowly working their way over to my gun turret and going inside. Even there's light coming out of the door. And I have to laugh at how slow they move. A lot more time back in the 90s. People were more patient than they are these days. And the ticking time bomb. Boom! Game over. That is that. Well, I hope you enjoyed that trip down memory lane of Paratrooper and Night Raid. And Night Raid is a game that you should be able to play in a DOS emulation on the browser. And I will check that out. And if I can find it, I will put a link in the description for you to try it yourself. Otherwise, thanks, Dad, for the memories. I am Mike, and we will see you next time.
Thanks for watching The Watchmen.
Please click on here to watch other episodes, and be sure to hit that like button too.
And please subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way you'll always be alerted to any future episodes.
It really helps us out, and we appreciate it.
We'll see you next time. And remember, we'll be watching.